What else is new? The 650's multi-adjustable proactive chassis control receives some intriguing revisions. As before, the dampers are interlinked at each corner, so there are no conventional anti-roll bars. There's improved hardware, though. The uprights and double wishbones are new, reducing unsprung weight by 16 kilograms. As before, you can choose between comfort, sport, or track mode according to location or intention. PCC2 uses multiple sensors, 12 more than previously, including an accelerometer on each wheel hub, to monitor inputs from the road and measure the tire contact patch. The information is processed in milliseconds by the optimal controller algorithm, developed by Mclaren in conjunction with the Cambridge University PhD research program. According to Vehicle Development Director Ben Gulliver, the system can alter the valves and the dampers in a way that preempts changes in road surface rather than reacting to them. Chief Test Driver Chris Goodwin is particularly proud of the work done on the rear suspension geometry. This car can conjure amazing grip and balance even on the bumpiest roads, he tells us. One other thing, the base Pirelli tire, 245/35 ZR19s on the front, 305/30 ZR20s on the rear, bespoke to Mclaren, used by the 720S, has the same performance as the old Trufio track rubber. There is grip and compliance in equal measure, although the Ferrari 488 GTB runs it very close. No sign of a cause or an active rear axle? No. The hardware is still too heavy, the response time's too slow, says Gulliver of the latter, while Goodwin jokes that Mclaren will happily keep electro-hydraulic steering in business for a long time yet. On the 720S, the rack uses one software map, and the linearity of response and the dialogue that builds between you and the road is spectacular. A small but important point, the 3-spoke wheel isn't buried under a welter of buttons, it exists to steer the car and nothing else. Proper. How does it feel on the track? Velunga is relatively short but a lot of fun. But it's also where we get to the heart of the matter. The 720S is so damned good it's almost undramatic. Dramatically undramatic. It's that edgy supercar question again. Do you need to be asking for planning permission on the ragged edge before decreeing something a real supercar? Or do you just want to go ballistically fast, everywhere, rain or shine, with almost total impunity? The 720S isn't clinical, but it is surgical. The new variable drift control, which, according to Mclaren, delivers additional enjoyment in sport and track modes, with fingertip control of electronic stability control intensity, is amusing, but you still need to be able to balance steering and throttle effectively, so why not just turn everything off? Goodwin reckons the system works like the 9-stage traction control in McLaren's GT race cars, and the end game is finding the best setup for whichever track you regularly visit. In other words, traction optimization rather than control. Whatever your bag, turn all the electronics off and the sheer genius of the chassis is laid bare. What a machine this is. And inside? Inside, the 720S somehow combines the brutal ergonomic efficacy of a race car with the technical luxury of a contemporary GT. The drive mode controls now live in a vertical pond to the left of the wheel. The principal readouts are housed directly ahead, and the folding display is very cool, the idea being that you can focus on the key readouts if you're in maximum attack mode. The D, N and R buttons are in another pond that tapers towards the bottom. The door is leading to the roof, Ford GT40 style, and it really does feel like being at the pointy end of an era, only with much more control over your own destiny. The human graphic on the climate control display is wearing a crash helmet. Nice touch. There's also an awesome 1280 watts audio system, and the speakers are a seamlessly integrated part of the interior topography. But the sat-nav drove me mad, and the seat controls are difficult to reach. 2,730 pounds for heated electric seats at BTW. Turns out they're one of the few things carried over from the 650S. Sounds like maybe we should order ourselves one. It's as intriguing as you hope. The 720S. All 400 launch spec cars are long gone. and 1,400 cars have been ordered before the first 720S has even left the factory. McLaren, it seems, has hit the mother lode. Only a full-blooded back-to-back test against the Ferrari, preferably on British roads we know, probably somewhere in North Wales, will reveal the complete picture. Mind you, on power alone it vaults itself ahead of its Italian rival, which might bring the new 488 Speciale, or whatever it'll be called, onto the front burner. The 720S is magnificent, but also surprisingly nuanced for such an adrenalized proposition. It takes time to work out the full scale of its, and its creators' achievements. It's also worth noting that our test car lifted the £218,020 list price to £292,000 plus, and that the full carbon look, inside and out, doesn't come cheap. To put it another way, how does a McLaren 570 GT and the Porsche 911 GT3 sound?